Good morning, everyone. It's Monday, April 27th. I'm Stephanie Haney. I'm here with your top headlines from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. It's the start of a new week, and as we do each morning when we come here at 11 a.m., I'll start off with the latest numbers for COVID-19 coronavirus here in the state of Ohio. Now, the last time we talked on Friday, so I'll be comparing today's numbers to Friday's numbers that came out at 2 p.m. These are the numbers that we have so far that came out Sunday at 2 p.m. from the Ohio Department of Health. As a reminder, we are now working with an expanded CDC definition. So we are not just talking about confirmed positive cases of COVID-19. We are also talking about probable cases of COVID-19, referring to people who haven't necessarily had a test that came back positive. So we now have recorded 6,963 cases of COVID-19 here in the state of Ohio and a total of 728 deaths. The age range remains the same, from less than 1 up to 106 years old, with that median age being 51. 58% of the reported cases are males and 42% of the reported cases are females. Now, if we look back comparing that to Friday, we do see many more cases. There are 1,794 new cases reported between Friday and yesterday at 2 p.m. when we got these numbers, and 38 more deaths. 38 deaths is definitely a lot of deaths, but I do want to point out over the last week, it's been a couple days since Friday, so 38 deaths between Friday at 2 p.m. and Sunday at 2 p.m., but that rate is going down if we take a look at the number of new deaths that we saw from day to day last week. So of course, we'll keep an eye on how that compares today when we get the new updated numbers from the Ohio Department of Health at 2 p.m. As we take a look at the potential for a vaccine for COVID-19, a new study is showing that nearly 11% of Ohioans say they would not get a COVID-19 vaccine, and 26% said that they would be unsure about doing it. This is based on a poll from BALDWIN WALLACE, and that poll showed 62.7% of people would get the vaccine when it becomes available, according to how they feel about it right now. So the poll was conducted online between April 20th and 25th, and it was including 797 self-identified registered voters. So among that population, that's where these numbers came from. So according to the poll, 81% of Ohioans in that group felt somewhat anxious about the spread of COVID-19, and 87.2% have some concern that others might unknowingly spread the virus to them. The Baldwin-Wallace poll also showed 85% of Ohioans approved of the way Governor Mike DeWiene has been handling COVID-19 here in the state of Ohio. For people who have been waiting on money, if you didn't get direct deposit when the stimulus checks started coming out, many will be sent out via the mail today. The Postal Service Inspector Michael Romano said that it's a top priority all the way at the top of the agency down in the Postal Service. He also said that they're going to be looking at some of the information on when the checks are coming through, increased patrols in the area, and of course he's referring there to the possibility of theft, because we do know that there are many of these checks coming out in the mail. So he said the mail will not be dispersed on dispersed on April 20th. It will take a couple of months to get all of the checks out. So that is information that we knew, when many people did get those direct deposits, it was going to take some time. So many will be going out today. So that's just a reference to that. Kent State University has announced major cuts, potentially up to 20% of the school's budget. So this was in a letter sent out to students and staff. Kent State President Todd Diacon wrote, "As we strive to take care of one another, we must also take care of the institution and its short and long-term financial health." So going into the details of that, the president said this is going to require a series of cuts as the university needs to reduce its budget by 20% for fiscal year 2021. This is an effort that he said is necessary because there is an all but certain 20% reduction in state support, which will account for $32 million of the university's budget, as well as anticipated declines in enrollment and other revenue sources. Of course, a lot of people are very upset about the sports world being put on hold. That definitely has an impact on university funding. So, in order to account for that, they are expecting a budget that has $110 million less in fiscal year 2021 than they had to work with in fiscal year 2020. So in order to contribute to those cuts, President Diakon said he himself would be taking a 12.5% salary reduction. And in the letter to students and staff, he also went on to say, Penn State has survived the Great Depression, the attacks of September 11th, 2001, and the Great Recession, and each time bounced back to rise to new heights of programmatic and individual successes and accomplishments. He said, our pledge is to work tirelessly to add value even while making difficult decisions, and he thanked the staff and the students in advance for understanding and support, adding at the end there, I salute each of you for the great work you do every day. So it will remain to be seen how other universities are impacted by this, but definitely going to be seeing an impact as well. And apparently at Penn State University, they're now anticipating a drop in enrollment for the next year. Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, has now formally endorsed presidential candidate Joe Biden, former Vice President Joe Biden. Pelosi said this, as we face coronavirus, Joe has been a voice of reason and resilience with a clear path to lead us out of this crisis. She went on to say, Biden brings values and integrity to work every day because he never forgets his roots. Elections are about the future. Now more than ever, we need a forward-looking, battle-tested leader who will fight for the people. President Barack Obama and former presidential contender and Vermont Senators Bernie Sanders have also recently endorsed Joe Biden. Biden did say during one of the debates that he would be selecting a woman as his vice presidential candidate running mate. So several women who are considered to be in the running for that include Senator Amy Klobuchar, Senator Kamala Harris, Senator Elizabeth Warren, Governor Gretchen Whitmer, and former Georgia House Speaker Stacey Abrams. We will remain to see who Biden does select as his vice presidential candidate running mate, and when we have that information, we'll share that with you. Something else we're expecting to find out today is Governor Mike DeWine is expected to outline detailed plans on the potential reopening for Ohio that has been expected as of May 1st is when it's expected to start reopening here. So on Thursday, DeWine said that they are working on it and they'll have that announcement on Monday as they try to get this right. DeWine and Dr. Amy Acton, who is the director of our Ohio Department of Health, have been very vocal about hesitancy to open up too soon or too quickly. Ohio Democrats have told DeWine that they think the state is not ready to open up. They did provide him with a letter with a list of things that they would like to see before they believe that the state is ready to open up on May 1st. So I'm sure the governor is taking that into consideration. They have been saying that they do hope to do it on May 1st. So that's the plan. And DeWine did say this is a virus and a situation that is constantly changing. As the virus changes and the impact of it changes, we have to assess things and try to use the best available data that we can. DeWine has previously mentioned phases of reopening, which are in line with President Donald Trump's three-phase guidelines approach, but he hasn't given an exact detail about what that would actually look like, what businesses would be included in what phase. So we do expect to hear more about that today, and as soon as we have that information, we'll share that with you, of course. Something else that Governor Mike DeWine has done has decided that this will be a virtual Spirit Week. So he tweeted about that over the weekend. So if you're still in your pajamas, it's time, not time to change. You can stay in those pajamas all day because today is Pajama Day, according to DeWine's virtual Spirit Week. And this is, he said, in an effort to have some lighthearted fun, we'll have a virtual Spirit Week here in Ohio. Tuesday is Garden Day, so the idea there is to get out and do some planting. Wednesday is Salute Your Hero Day, where he is inviting people to dress up as doctors, nurses, teachers, and to take pictures and share them on social media. Thursday is Spirit Day, to show off your spirit, your favorite school or team spirit. Friday is Pizza Day. That always sounds like a great day. The idea there is to support a local business and order some takeout or delivery or make your own pizza at home. So you can follow all of that along on social media this week with the hashtags #SpiritWeekOhio, #InThisTogetherOhio, and #StayHomeOhio. So those are your updates for this morning here on Monday, April 27th. Next up, we have 3 News Connect. That's with Jay Crawford and our senior health correspondent, Monica Robbins. And then, of course, at 2 p.m., Governor Mike DeWine will have his press conference. And then I'll be back here at 2 p.m. with those updated numbers from the Ohio Department of Health, letting you know where we stand with COVID-19 numbers here in the state of Ohio. I'll see you back here then.